Hey everybody, I'm back. It's a lot quieter here now. Sorry about earlier if anybody was here for that. The kids were wild. But let me get my chat window up. That's the only thing I'm still working on. I figured I could go ahead and start talking. I can still read the chat. I just don't have it up here visible for people who watch the VOD later. And I like to do that. So, let's see. It's browser. That's it. That's the one. That's not it. Oh, I know why. No, that's the one. That's it. All right. So window capture. This is how all live streams work. Is they're mostly fixing crap that doesn't work every time.
What's not working?
Oh, it's working. It's just not working. There we go. I just need to get my chat up so people can see it when they rewatch the video. So if there's a question, people could see. So I'm going to get this said now at the beginning of the stream. This stream is to help people affected by the coronavirus. My wife and I have designed this t-shirt. I am essential, or at the back it says something, if you can read this, you're not 6 feet away, social distancing. And what this is for is it's to help people that have been affected by the coronavirus that aren't nurses, that aren't, police task force or anything like that. It basically helps everyone. People that don't have a home, people that don't have food, people that don't have the ability to pay their electric bills. That's what this is for. So all the money that goes to this live stream event will go to help with that. It is a fundraiser. If you know me, I don't have a lot of time to live stream. I try my best to get on and live stream for you guys so you guys can ask me questions. And I'm trying to do it, like I said, it's for a good cause. If you know much about me and my channel, I do a lot on my channel to try to help underprivileged families. I try to help people be able to take care of their pest control on their own, so they don't even have to hire somebody like me. Even though I'm probably one of the most affordable exterminators around, I still try to give back to the community and help people that are less fortunate. So that's what this stream is about. So let's talk about a story. I'm going to start with a story. I thought I would just kind of chill, kind of hang out, just like last night. If you guys were here for that, it was, just pretty much hanging out and talking about all kinds of different, experiences and stuff like that. So that's what I thought I'd do tonight. I thought I'd just go over some things that I have done before, some of the crazy things that I've witnessed, and answer your questions. So if a question comes up, I will answer it. Hey, Leo, I will answer it as soon as somebody asks it. I'll break into my story and I will answer a question for you. So when I was maybe about probably about 17 or 18, I've had my license since I was 17. There was a man that used to work with my father, and he quit the February. My birthday's in December, so he quit in February, and I had to jump right into a route. I had never had a route. I've been doing pest control really for most of my life, but we had a customer that owed money, and I kind of like collections. I like going and getting paid. And so the guy what happened was he had the same name as another customer. So they had identical names, same first name, same last name, two completely different addresses. I wasn't paying attention, and so I credited, because a payment had come in. So I credited one of them, but he hadn't paid, and he was 3 months past due. So I was probably about 17 years old. Maybe I might have been 18 because I had my own cell phone and everything. So I was probably 18 because when I first started my route, I only had a pager. So I was probably 18 years old. And my mother used to do all the paperwork. She's like, well, you credited the wrong account. And I'm like, really? So she's like, yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go collect. I'm going to be out on his route tomorrow. So let me go collect. I went out to the guy's house, and he's asleep. He is always asleep. Typically what I would do is I would knock on the door. No one would ever come to the door, and I would go in, and he'd be asleep in the recliner, and he'd say, oh, just pray around like you usually do. It'll be all right. So I knocked on the door. Nobody came to the door, so I walked on in. The guy met me with a baseball bat, and he told me he was going to beat me up. And I said, whoa, wait, I'm just here to do your pest control. Why are you so hostile? And he's like, well, trying to say I owe you money I don't owe you. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm sorry. And so I went out to the truck, and I called my father, and I told him what had happened. And the guy is running out to the truck. I'm still in the guy's driveway. And the guy is running out to the truck, waving the baseball bat around. And my dad's hollering at me on the phone, telling me to get out of there. It ain't worth getting hit with a baseball bat. We'll just turn him over to collections if he's not going to pay. So that was something that happened to me. That was the first time I actually thought I was going to get beat to death doing pest control, and I was just a kid. So I still don't mind going out and collecting from people, though. It didn't scare me. So I wasn't even really scared. Probably should have been, though. But that's a story. Also, well, there's some stories I don't like to share on YouTube. More or less would share it on Facebook maybe, but because of the type of audience that I try to stream to, I try to be family friendly for most everybody that watches. You can sit down and watch my stream with your kids. A lot of times when I'm streaming, my kids are sitting right beside me. You don't see them on camera, but they're sitting right beside me, watching me and everything. So there's been a question floating around Facebook, and I think I got into this last night. There's a health hazard going around the nation called COVID-19 or coronavirus, which is right there on the screen, right there. I guess probably most of y'all have heard about it if you hadn't been living under a rock. And there are some fears that COVID-19 may be able to be transferred by bugs. A lot of people think that mosquitoes or ticks or fleas can carry coronavirus. And I've actually looked into this. I've done my research, and I talked about it a little bit last night, but the coronavirus is spread through respiratory droplets. So basically, if you are breathing in someone's direction, talking to someone, coughing, sneezing, the water droplets are coming out of your lungs, because when you talk, you're expelling air and you're pushing droplets into someone else's direction. So that's how the coronavirus is spread, from someone who has it to someone who does not. The way that the viruses are spread, like malaria or West Nile virus, or even the bubonic plague, spotted Rocky Mountain. Now I can't remember what it's called. Tick-borne diseases. I'll just say that. Like Lyme's disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever. There we go, I did it. These diseases are called, they're considered a vector-borne disease. Now, the way a vector-borne disease works is that it's spread through the blood. So when you get bit, especially if you get bit like something like a mosquito will replace blood that it's digested with your blood. So it sucks up your blood and spits out blood. So that's the way that a mosquito will bite you. And that's how they spread malaria and things like that are considered vector-borne diseases. The coronavirus is not vector-borne, so it can't be spread through that type of contact with like bugs and stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff around Facebook and different posts on different forums talking about how they're so scared of the bugs that'll bite. If somebody gets coronavirus and then the bug bites them and then bites somebody else, it's going to spread. They're basically kin it to like the bubonic plague. Now, the bubonic plague or the Black Death is spread by fleas. And so what happens is the flea bites a rat that's infested with the bubonic plague, and then that flea bites a human, and it spreads it through vector-borne. It's a vector-borne disease, so it spreads through blood contact, and so that's the way that the bubonic plague is spread. It's somebody here. Leo says, I heard about the coronavirus, about 917 cases here. Yeah, we have 10 here in Lynchburg. We're really well equipped, though.
They say we are.
They say we are. You got to believe them. You have no way to really prove it unless you're working there with them all. But they claim they have about 100 ventilators, and plus they've bought more if they need them. They've invested more, built hospitals and everything around locally here so they can handle it. But we really only have 10. I had to go out this evening to do a job, and because I don't get an option. I mean, people call me, I have to go out. I'm considered somebody. I'm like health, if it wasn't for pest control, just the diseases I just mentioned, like the flea-borne diseases, mosquito-borne diseases, tick-borne diseases, and not only that, but roaches carry all kinds of staph infections and diseases. Rats and mice carry diseases. If you do not have pest control, that's like a definite thing. It has killed people. These are things that absolutely have happened to people. The coronavirus is still kind of, it might do this and it might do that, and we might hurt this many people and we might hurt that many people, and we don't know how many people are asymptomatic. So there's a lot of up in the air, we really don't know. But we know for a fact that the bubonic plague killed millions of people, and we know for a fact that ticks infect millions of people every year with Lyme's disease, every single year. This is something that happens all the time. And if you don't kill these bugs, you're gonna be sick. So that's why they consider pest control, stuff I do, is considered an essential job, because we really do. And imagine what it would be like if you went to a restaurant. If you gotta go out to eat, and all this coronavirus and everything is gone. It's gone. Nobody's worried about it anymore. All the restaurants open back up, but they hadn't had any pest control. So there's roaches crawling all over the place, or spiders crawling all over the place, and all these things that rats and mice, the rats will move in right away. If no one is in the restaurant, some of these restaurants are actually closing down, and they won't actually open back up until, if they even open back up, maybe a new restaurant will come back in their place. Some of these people are going out of business. But and that's what this stream is about. The stream is to help people that are losing their job, that are actually really hurting a lot right now. But anyway, if these restaurants are closed and there's nobody in them, the rats will move right in. The roaches will reproduce. Nothing's there killing them. There's no pest control guy there killing them. And so it's really important to try to keep these things going. I've had a few customers that have called and actually canceled. I've lost almost $2,000 worth of revenue now a month. It's a lot. It's really hit me pretty hard. But the thing is, I try to explain to people is that I don't have to come inside your house to do pest control. I do a lot of that. I offer a lot of indoor pest control, and a lot of people like you to come inside because they're worried about the bugs that might be crawling around in their home. And I understand that. But bugs don't come from in the home. They come from outside. If you do an initial treatment and you do a really good, thorough treatment inside the home, then you don't really have to go back inside for maybe even several months, maybe even longer than that. I've got a lot of customers that do outside-only service that never have a single bug in their house at all. So if you're just going to treat around the outside to keep bugs from coming in, there's wasps, there's flies, there's lots of different things, ants, crickets, silverfish, centipedes, millipedes. Arizona, they have scorpions. They have these. Everybody's got all different kinds of bugs that are going to come in the house, and they're going to get into them if you don't do anything. If you just don't do anything. So some of the people are affected by this cutback, though. They're having to cut back because they lost their job, or they're really, really like the elderly. I have lost a few that were elderly, and I've lost some customers that were schools. So I do some schools. They're usually pretty big accounts, schools and stuff. That's why I total up to almost $2,000. because I lose the school accounts, and they're really big accounts. But they'll start back up when school starts back up in the fall. So, but it's hit everybody. I think over the next month or so, it's going to really hit. So anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm not having a lot on my stream tonight. I had a lot more last night, I think, because it was Friday night. Everybody was home. Oh, yeah, kissing bugs. Yeah, you're right, Leo. That's absolutely right. Now, the way the kissing bug, a lot of people are really worried about kissing bugs. This was something that was going around about the summer last year. I actually have a customer I just started last week that had those things in their house. So the way that a kissing bug spreads Chagas disease. Now, Chagas disease is actually can be carried in bed bugs as well. So Chagas disease is when a kissing bug, so they like to bite you on your face, which is why they call them kissing bugs, because they bite you like all on your face. And what happens is if they defecate on your face. So that gets into the cut. And for those that got kids, like I was talking, it's poop, all right? The bug poops on you. So the poop gets into the cut or the wound, and then that's how you get Chagas disease. But it's only if the bug is carrying it. So about 50% of the kissing bugs carry Chagas disease. Bed bugs carry it too, but it's only in their poop. So the likeliness you're going to catch it from a bed bug is slim to none, because bed bugs don't typically defecate on a person. They usually crawl down underneath the mattress or the box spring, and that's where they poop. So they're not going to actually do that on you. But yes, exactly, the eyes and the mouth, exactly. The kissing bug will poop in open sores and in your eyes and in your mouth. And so it's important to kill those so they don't do that. But it's still really slim to none that that's going to happen. That the thing is that's got to happen while typically when you're asleep is when they bite you. But it's just really, you're more likely to get Lyme's disease, honestly. Lyme's disease is way more common than Chagas disease. Now, in third world countries, like we didn't go, what was it? We were planning a cruise. Where was that we were going to a cruise where Chagas disease had broken out? It was a Mexican cruise, wasn't it? Was it Caribbean?
Chagas disease, it was Zika, I think. Wasn't it?
I thought it was Chagas disease.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was Zika virus.
I think it was Zika virus.
Okay, it was Zika virus. But that's spread by mosquitoes, the Zika virus is.
Yeah, it was Zika virus was really prevalent in Mexico and the Caribbean, and so we weren't able to go.
But we changed it. We went to Bermuda instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I love Bermuda. If there are any cruise liners that are even left after this, I mean, I imagine this aftermath is going to take out a lot of cruises. I'm sure Disney will still be around, but a lot of these cruises are probably going to go to the wayside. I imagine their stocks are falling like crazy. I imagine they're going to go out of business. But anyway. So like I said, if anybody has any questions, I'm not going to stream as long as I did last night. I'm getting too old to stream late night. And so I'm going to probably head on to bed tonight. Pretty exhausted. But anyway, mainly because of the babies and stuff keep me up at night sometimes. My daughter had nightmares. She has night terrors at night, and she'll wake up, but she doesn't. She sleepwalks. So my daughter sleepwalks, and she has nightmares while she sleepwalks. So it's like she's still dreaming, but she's dreaming a bad dream, and she'll come in and she'll be really upset, and I'll have to slowly try to turn the lights on and kind of wake her up and say, it's okay. Do you have to pee? Go to the bathroom and everything. And that wakes you up in the middle of the night. If you've got to deal with something like that, it really does wake you up. And you're up then. And then you have to try to get back to sleep. And so you miss out on a lot of sleep. So I'm going to try to get to bed by 11 tonight so I can get to sleep. Was there anything else we were going to talk about? Did you have anything? Do you have any questions you'd ever like to ask me? Because nobody's asking me questions tonight.
No, not really.
No? Because, I'll just ramble. That's probably the biggest complaint I get on all of my videos is I ramble. So I got a story. I've been telling this story a lot lately. I had a customer years ago. She she was into QVC and Home Shopping Network. She would buy things she didn't need. She would, hey Roy, can you hold off on actually washing the dishes?
You just move stuff off the
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't want to make a whole bunch of racket. Because this is open concept. So let me give you a tour the best I can because I'm in the way of the camera. But behind me, my son, you can see him kind of walking around. That's my dining room table is right behind me. And then over here, that's the bar. So that bar, on the other side of that bar is my kitchen sink. So, and then of course the front door is behind me. And then my bedroom is this way. And then the living room is that way too. And the kids' bedrooms are right over here. So it's really open floor plan. And I hear everything going on. And you guys can probably hear everything going on too. But I'm hoping that it's not too bad tonight. But it was really loud earlier when the kids were running around the house being wild and crazy. And I couldn't even concentrate. And when the background noise is bothering me when I'm trying to live stream, I can't concentrate either. So anyway, like I was saying, I had a customer. She's really big into Home Shopping Network and QVC. And she was buying stuff. I mean, she had stuff from years, just years and years worth of boxes. And some of the boxes were still taped up that had never been opened. And I would go into her house, and I was young. I wasn't even 20 yet. I was probably 18 or 19. And I was servicing her house. And I'd go in, I'd sit on her couch, and I would pet her kitty cat. And she used to have a really pretty white kitty cat. And it was a really old cat. I remember it was really soft. Really there's these Asian cats that get really, really soft and they're really, really fluffy. And I used to pet it all the time. And it was like Mr. Bigglesworth, if you've ever seen Austin Powers, before the cat gets frozen and turns into a little bald cat. But anyway, I would pet that kitty cat. And then one month I went and I was filling out the ticket. And I started petting on the cat, and the cat was dead. And so this lady had taken the cat and had it stuffed since the last, and I was going once a month, so it was just within the last 30 days. She had taken the cat and got it stuffed. And so I was sitting on the couch. I was petting this cat, and I was just petting it, and I was just petting it and petting it, and I couldn't stop petting it because the woman started crying as soon as I started petting the cat. And I realized it was dead right away. I was like, oh man, that cat is dead. I am petting this woman's dead cat. And so she started crying, and she's like, the kitty cat loved you so much, and he's probably looking down on you from kitty cat heaven, and you're petting him. And I couldn't stop petting the cat because the lady, I was making her day. I was absolutely making her whole day. And I just kept petting the cat, and I felt so awkward. And then I got up and I left, and I didn't pet the cat anymore. Every time I went out to her house after that, she was still a customer for several years, and I never did pet the cat anymore. But that cat never left either. He never got up and moved from that spot. But that cat was always laying on that spot anyway, even when he was alive. So that was a kind of a little bit of an awkward thing that happened to me one time. I'm just, honestly, I'm just telling stories now. I don't really know if anybody has a question. I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost for answers. If anybody has a question at all about anything, I don't mind answering any questions. I could show you some bugs I got. I think I showed my bed bugs last night to you because I got some pets. I don't know who all is in here tonight. I got 5 people watching me right now. But last night I showed this one. This is alive. This one. Is it still alive? Oh, did you kill this bug when you looked at it the other day?
What?
Because you didn't want this bug in the house. I think you killed this bug.
I did not kill it, no.
Let me see. Let me open up the bag.
Don't you open the bag.
No, I'm going to do it. It's not. See, look.
Don't.
I'm not opening it.
Don't open it.
Shh, don't tell.
Don't open it. Jason.
I'm just blowing in the bag to see if I can bring it back to life. Hold on. Nah, I think it's dead. I think it got squished. I didn't even want to kill the bed bug. I wanted to leave her alive. Wait a minute. Let me open it up again. Let me see. I'm not going to let an egg out. I don't know. There's eggs in here too. Sometimes you just got to breathe in there and it come alive. No, it's dead. It was alive like a week ago. That sucks. I wanted it to be alive. I was going to let it crawl around and maybe even let it bite me. But see, it got eggs in there too. I don't know if y'all probably can't see that egg right there. Can y'all see that egg right there? Yeah, y'all can see that egg. It's a little bitty thing right there. That's an egg. It's real blurry because I'm not allowed to let them out of the bag. But yeah. So that's the one that was alive and now it's dead. And I got this jar. It's got a bunch in it. Watch, I'll show you. I'll open this one up. She don't like when I open it up. But this stuff's been dead. But what I like to do is I like to have bed bugs so I can show people what they look like. So I'm going to try something different today with my camera. Let me see if I can get a piece of paper. All right. Oh, there we go. That's pretty. All right. Now, you ready? I'm going to take you down off my monitor. There's some bed bugs. Those are live adult. Those aren't live. They're dead. But now, that's what they look like. Now, to give you reference as far as size, let me get an ink pen here. Now, that is a nymph. Now, you see that ballpoint pen. That's a little one. That's not fully grown now. That's not an adult. Here is an adult. These are adults. So that gives you a good idea of the size in reference to what an actual size of a bed bug looks like. So, they're pretty good size. You can see every stage. Let's see if I find an egg. There's an egg in here too, but it's a dead one. Right there. There's an egg right there. So see, a lot of people think that bed bugs, that you can't see the eggs. A lot of people think you can't see bed bugs, but you absolutely can see every stage of bed bugs if you'd ever wanted to know what one looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and put them back in the jar. My wife stopped sweating over here. These are dead. They ain't going to hurt nobody. So. Well, good. I'm glad, Denise. Denise says that she's a new subscriber, or he. I'm just assuming. I shouldn't assume gender. A new subscriber for a little while. I've been telling others about your channel. I love your information, and you've been a help to my hubby and I. Well, that is great, Denise. I'm glad that I could help. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to help any way I can. That's why I'm doing my channel actually tonight. I don't live stream a lot. I try to live stream whenever I can, but because of this coronavirus and all this stuff that's been going on, I've just been trying to, I thought about this fundraiser, and I thought I'd try to offer t-shirts for this fundraiser, and I think it's like $20 a shirt. Let me see if I can pull it up. I might be able to show you what it looks like. Let me see if I can, let me see. Can you post that link? Are you in my chat? I'll do it. I think I can do it. There's a shirt. And if you click that link, you can go there, and what it'll do is add browser. Let me see. I just have to add this real quick. All right, so if I pick that, there you go. See? So what you do is you go to this site here, and it says it's organized by Jason Akers. That's me. And then you can go down, and I haven't sold any shirts. I'm not pushing it all the time. I'm just really here, answering people's questions. But I probably should be saying, hey, go buy a shirt more often. I don't have very many people watching. But it's a Hanes t-shirt. It's a really good shirt. I use custom ink. Here's my story right there that I did, which is on my channel too, which you can watch. And so it's got from size small all the way up to triple XL, and they're really good shirts. It says "I'm essential" on the front, and on the back it says if you can read this, you're not 6 feet away, and it's social distancing background. So I actually like the back. The back's probably my favorite. That was my idea. That's my contribution. And in this one, my wife says she liked this because the hands are it's like washing your hands or whatever, and then you got the world there, that the whole world, that we're all in this together as an entire unit. It's not just one person. It's not just one country. It's not just one people. It's the whole world coming together, working towards the same goal, and that's basically defeating the coronavirus, and that's the whole goal of it. And maybe it sounds a bit corny, but that's I like it anyway. I like it. So I thought I'd offer it. I actually thought I'd buy myself one. What I was going to do is, if people buy, so the way that Custom Ink does their fundraising is you have to sell so many shirts. So in order for them to even print them, they won't print them unless you sell so many. And this one, I think, is like 24 shirts. And so if even just one person bought a shirt, I'd buy the rest of the 23 so that you'd still get your shirt. And that way, everybody, the people who pay their money, that want to get their shirt, that spend the $20 or whatever for their shirt, they still get a shirt. And I'll just buy the rest, and I'll just hand them out around town just for free. Just hand them out to people. So that's just what I thought I would do to try to help people out during this horrible thing. It really affected me when I went to the hotel, and not only that, not even since that story, because I talked about it earlier on stream, but we went to a hotel because I do long distance bedbugs, so I travel 3-4 hours away, and when I have to go that far, we'll stop at a hotel. And so we were staying up in Front Royal, Virginia, to do a bedbug job, and that's about 3 hours from where I live. And so the maid, actually, when we tipped the maid the next morning when we were leaving, she cried, and she hugged my wife and got really upset. She's like, I just don't know how I'm going to feed my kids. I'm really upset. And she has a job. It's not that she doesn't have a job. It's that the hotel cut her back to only 1 day a week instead of 5 days a week like she was getting. And so it just really stifled her pay, so they don't have to pay her unemployment or anything like that. Now you can apply for things like, what is it? Not unemployment, but it's partial unemployment. You can apply for that if something happens and your job gets cut, and then the government typically comes in and you have to get paid the rest. But that's rough, on her. And even since then, with my wife's hairdresser and the lady I met a couple days ago, the lady that does her nails. She said they're worried they're going to have to actually close their business because they're not going to be able to afford to stay in business. Because if you're in business, you can't go month after month without income. You've got bills to pay. You've got rent to pay. You have to close your doors because you can't afford it. And so I started this whole T-shirt campaign in hopes that maybe I might be able to help a little where I could. The organization that does it, it's Catholic Charities USA. And what they do is they help people, not just feeding people. Like a lot of the people are doing these Feed America. So they're using like Feed America as their fundraiser. And I think Feed America does great things. But I believe Catholic Charities helps not just USA, but worldwide. They help people in America. They help people in overseas. I actually talked to a guy last night for about an hour from the UK. And so Feed America doesn't really help people in the UK. You have to go through a different organization. And so I use Catholic Charities, and they help with things like electric bill. They help with rent if you can't make your rent. My wife, when she was young, their family was always trying to fight for paycheck to paycheck, and there were periods where they didn't work at all because her father was in the carpenters union, and so if they didn't have anything to build, they didn't work. And so there were periods where they were worried they weren't going to make their bills, and so Catholic Charities stepped in, and they don't even ask questions. They're like, what do you need? And they write the check. and it's just like, they're great. I really like them. That's why I picked them. If you've watched my channel for very long and watched any of my videos, I'm pretty cut and dry. I'm like, look, you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. What are you going to do? And they would go to social services and they would try to get help from them. And they'd be like, we can't help you. You made, instead of $1,000 last month, you made $1,001. So we can't give you anything. Sorry. Because that's how social services worked. If you've ever been on social services, I've been on social services. I've been on food stamps. I've been on, in fact, let me tell you a story about why I started my company. When I had a really hard time in the beginning of my marriage to my wife. In the first couple months that we were married, I made about $87 one month, and we were living on food stamps and we were living in government housing, which is basically subsidized housing. So we were living in the projects, basically. It was really hard. We lived in the projects for about 6 months until my wife and I actually decided we were getting married. We were going to get married. We were engaged. We were living together while we were engaged. And when we had both come out of 2 messy divorces, I had been divorced and she had gone through a divorce, and so I actually lost my house during the market crash. And when I married her, the landlord basically said that she had to leave. And she says, well, why? And I said, well, because I couldn't be added to the lease because I had a foreclosure on my credit record. And this is Section 8 housing. I mean, a lot of people that go into Section 8 housing don't have credit at all. And because I had bad credit, they would not allow us to live there anymore. I would have to live separate from her in order for her to continue to live where she was living. And so we either had 2 options. We could move in with my wife's family, which that wasn't going to happen, or we could move into one of my dad's houses. My dad is a landlord, and so he's got several properties, and there was a couple that weren't being rented. And with the agreement was that we could move in if we could keep the other property there rented. And so that's what I did. So basically, I ran his property for him, and I was able to live there rent-free because I wasn't making enough money to survive on rent. I couldn't pay rent at all. And so we started our company, and what we would do is every year we would get our tax return, and we would save the money from our tax return, and we would make it last for months. I couldn't afford to go to Goodwill. I couldn't afford to buy clothing for my children from Goodwill because that was food we couldn't eat. That was, when you got 2 growing kids. At the time, it was Emma and Rory. And Rory was just then maybe about 8 years old, 9 years old. And then he's 15 now. And Emma was just a baby. And I had to make sure that Alicia got fed well because she had to breastfeed the baby. And so the baby had to be strong. So Alicia needed food, my wife. So we took our tax return. It was really, really hard for me. But we took our entire tax return and we put it towards my business, and we invested in chemicals. We invested in the spray tanks that I needed. We invested in a wrap for the car. We had the car wrapped so we could advertise. And I went feet to the ground and immediately started, door knocking neighborhoods. And this was, I'm in my 5th fiscal year now. So that was 4 years ago. And now I pay rent. We live here. I'm not on government assistance. I don't do food stamps or anything like that, but I try to help people who are. And so I know what it was like to be in that situation. And so when it comes to pest control, I try to help anybody wherever I can. And so that's why I'm doing this live stream tonight. The only reason I'm doing this live stream tonight is because of the people that's been affected that no one's talking about. I talk about things nobody talks about. That's one of the things that I do, is I come on and I talk about things that no one else is willing to talk about. I talk about how heat treatments don't work. I talk about how termite bait stations are not the best option for like eastern subterranean termites. I talk about how diatomaceous earth is not healthy to breathe. It's actually very dangerous to use in your home if you don't use it right. I talk about a lot of things that people are not willing to do, that most pest control technicians are not willing to come on here and tell you how to spray for bugs and do it right. Nobody does that. And that's the difference in my channel and a lot of these other channels out there is I'm honest with you and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do things the right way and try to save you money, because I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck and not even know if you're going to get a paycheck. The way my paychecks were when I worked with my dad was I would get commission. So my sales commission based on what I sold, I would get that on the first of the month based on what I sold the previous month. So basically from January 1st to January 31st, that was my commission period. I would get paid on the 1st of February based on what I made in January. So it was basically held over a month. And then on the 15th of the month, I would get my pay for my commission, my collection commission. So I had commission, sales commission, and I had collection commission. And the way my collection commission worked is based on collection. So as long as I collected payments from people, I would get paid. The month I made the $87 was a month right after Christmas. I think it was January. It might have been February, but it was next to nothing because no one paid their bill. All of my customers weren't paying their bill. But typically I got about $1,000 a month. That's what I made every month when I worked with my dad. Now that's a month. That's not a week. That's not every other week. That's a month. And we lived off of $1,000 a month plus food stamps. That's what we lived off of. And that was a good month. A lot of my months I wouldn't even make $1,000. Most of the months I make like $800. And that's, you can look at it any way you want, but I was working with my dad, and I had been working with my dad from the time I was 6 years old. From the time I was 12 years old, I was told that I would inherit his company. And here I am. I don't work for him. So you see what happened. Long story short, I'm working for myself because that's what happened. Actually, my mother died is what happened. And when my mother died, lots of things changed. And basically the plans changed when Mom passed away. And so that was 4 years ago, almost, wasn't it? 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago that Mom died, wasn't it?
She died when I think Emma was almost 1.
Yeah.
So that would have been
6 years ago. 6 years ago in January. So, but there you go. There's a lot of blabbering and life story. And but I can tell you the story of my wife. So I met my wife when I was 12 or 11. I might have been 11. I think I was almost 12 when I met you. But we were best friends. We were best buddies. We used to play Tetris. We used to play Dr. Mario. We used to play Super Mario Brothers 3 on my NES because my dad had a conversion van with a TV in it. And we'd play games and stuff. When we'd go to church, we used to go to church together. And we would, like I said, play video games and stuff like that. So we grew up together. And we were never, like, romantically involved. I mean, I knew she liked me because, I mean, hey, who doesn't? But we were never actually, like, romantic interests or anything. We were just buddies. And so we hung out a lot and we played a lot and stuff. And then we had these problems in our exes, and then we ended up getting divorced and everything. And then we kind of started talking. I actually, when I was with my ex-wife, I was talking to Alicia, my wife. I was talking to Alicia on the phone, and we were discussing my wife that I was married to. And actually, I wasn't married to her yet. I was just dating her. And she told me, she's like, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. You marry her, you're not going to be happy. It's going to be horrible for you. You're going to hate it. You know better than to marry that woman. She ain't no good for you. And so she's always looked out for me and tried to take care of me and make sure that I was well taken care of. And then now we're married, and she takes care of me every day, make sure that I keep on the straight and narrow. So, you know, I forgot to post it on Facebook. I was going to post this video on Facebook last night, and I forgot to do it. And here I am standing here and talking to you guys, and I forgot to post it again. But, and that too, you can, let me give you my Discord link too, because I do have a Discord, if any of you guys are familiar with Discord and how Discord works. But hold on just a minute. I'll be right. So you really could see my house when I do that. Get up and run off like that. Had to use the bathroom. Sorry.
Got spring cleaning going on.
Yeah, got spring cleaning. Everybody's doing that now. I was on Facebook the other day, and somebody had actually posted that all the Goodwills are going to be lined up around the block because everybody's spring cleaning because they're all stuck at home and ain't got nothing else to do. But yeah, let me link you to my Discord channel because I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Discord or the way that it works. I got to grab the link real quick, but it's pretty cool. So I'm able to talk. I talk to a lot of people on Discord. I'm a nerdy gamer. Let me see if I can get my. How do I do this? Without having to actually open Discord, because it's got a special thing on it where if you're streaming, it's kind of harder to do it. Videos, edit. So I always get it this way. My Discord is here. My Patreon, let's see. Copy. There we go. So there's my Discord. If you click that link, it should take you to my Discord, and you can join my Discord server. And anytime you ever have a question or you're wanting to contact me directly, you can go there and you can say, "Hey, Jason, this is what I got going on," and I will answer your questions. You can also send pictures that way, and it's a really good way to keep in touch with people. That and I can even talk to you there too, like I'm talking to you now with my voice. So like a phone call. So I just thought I'd leave that there. And if you ever want to, check out Discord, you can. I also have a while I'm doing this fundraiser for Custom Ink and trying to raise funds for people with coronavirus, I also offer. So I have a Amazon page where people can. Let me see here. So if I go here and post this, this is my Amazon link. And what that does is it's my store. So the way it works is a lot of people have asked me if I sell Crossfire or if I sell Alpine or if I sell rat poison or whatever. I don't sell it. What this is this is my Amazon store. So what it does is it allows people to be able to see the stuff that I use and buy it from Amazon. And they give me credit or whatever. Like if somebody clicks a thing of Crossfire, I think I get like 3% off of the sale. So it's basically like a commission-based system. You don't have to buy, from me. You can go and get it from someone else. You can just go and look and say, oh, that's what he uses. Okay, now I know what it looks like. I can go buy it from someone that's cheaper. That's fine. But I just use Amazon because I used Amazon when I got started in my business. But if you bookmark that link and you click that when you want to go to buy things from Amazon. So if you're going to Amazon and you're going to buy like toilet paper or hand sanitizer or face masks or whatever. Just to name things out of the open, just grasp them out of the air. Not that I'm thinking about anything specific or anything, but if you go to buy those products and you go to that link first, it'll give me commission based on that too. So basically, if I'm sending people to Amazon, no matter what you buy on Amazon, if you click that link first, it gives me a percentage, and that way I can feed my family too, because I have lost a lot on this coronavirus thing. I think we'll be fine. I don't think we're going to have a problem, but just in case you want to support me, you can go there and you can click that link to support me. But you can also find all kinds of cool pesticides and stuff that I do. Now that does support me. That doesn't go to like this whole t-shirt thing that I'm doing like over here, but it does help me. And super chats and stuff like that, if you were to do a super chat and donate to me in stream, that goes to me too. I don't have any way to separate that from this, but if you order the t-shirts on the little t-shirt thing for the coronavirus, that I never see any of that. That goes straight to the Catholic Ministries or whatever, because let me see, I get the name. It's Catholic Charities. So because of the way that Custom Ink sets it up, they take their portion for the shirt and the rest of it goes to Catholic Ministries. I don't ever get it. So they're a 501c. So they deal with the 501c directly. I don't have to do that. I'm getting ready to log off. I've got about 5 minutes. If there are any questions at all, anything you're itching to ask me, anything you want to know, anything, I'm here. You know, you ask me what my favorite color is. It's blue. I told you. But also, this is my website. If you're interested to go check out my website, you can go check out my website here. And my channel. Here's my channel. How long should we have to spray for bed bugs with Crossfire? Once a month until you get rid of your bed bugs. Typically, most people get rid of their bed bugs after 1 to 2 treatments. It's very rare that you have to do 3 treatments, but I usually tell people once a month for 3 months. That's the way I've always done it for 20 years. Crossfire hadn't been around for 20 years. The chemicals we used to use were highly repellent, and so you really did have to go back every month to get rid of bed bugs. But now that the chemicals are more non-repellent, like Crossfire and Alpine are both non-repellent, the bed bugs don't see them as a pesticide. But yeah, once a month for 3 months. Don't do it like once a week or once every other week like Tempered. Do it once a month for 3 months, and then you'll get rid of your problem. The only time that I have ever gone further than 3 months on a bed bug treatment is because the bed bugs were coming in from some other location. So if you are bringing them in from somewhere and you don't know where they're coming from, you're going to continue to have problems. If your kids are bringing them in from school, which nobody's going to school now, all the schools are closed, but if your kids were bringing them home from school, you're going to continue to have a problem. If you work in healthcare, if you work in hospitals, nursing homes, those are really bad places for bed bugs. Movie theaters, of course, most of the movie theaters are closed now. I think they're all closed now. But the movie theaters are bad for bed bugs. Hotels, not so much, honestly. You're going to get them more likely from your friends and your family. And then you've got, schools and public transportation is really bad for bed bugs. So if you're using the bus, if you're using the metro, if you're using a train, if you're using a cab, to get around places, you can possibly get bed bugs that way. They will also transport in your trunk. So let's say you help somebody move into their home and they had bed bugs, but you never actually came into contact with their things because they borrowed your car, but they used your trunk. All right. Then 3 or 4 months go by and you start noticing bed bugs in your home. You get rid of your bed bugs in your home, but you're still getting bed bugs in the house and you don't know where they're coming from. You can treat the trunk of your car with Crossfire. It will kill the bed bugs that are living in the trunk of your car because your friend dropped bed bugs in the trunk of your car. Bed bugs can live for 18 months without a blood meal. That's why I don't know why this one died. I mean, I had this bed bug This bed bug was fine. I think my wife killed this bed bug, and she's not going to tell me because I told her that I was going to let it loose on camera, and I was going to let you guys see this bed bug. I'm telling you, I think she killed this bed bug, and she's not going to admit it, and she's over there laughing and smiling at me, and I think she squished it. But I wanted to show you guys this bed bug. I told her I was going to let this bug bite me, too, just so I could show you guys how it works, because I'm not afraid of them. But I think she killed my bed bug. Because that bed bug's only a week old as far as when I got it, and it was good and fed when I got it too, and it should be good for 18 months, and I'm really irritated. If you can't tell, I'm irritated. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about. You can catch me up if I messed up something, Crystal. Anyway. So, well, I hope everybody's having a really good night. It's 11 o'clock. I'm tired and bushed. If you want to get one last question in, you can. But I'm going to, actually, it says elapsed time, 58 minutes on my stream. So I'm going to go ahead and head on to bed unless anybody has any more questions. I'm going to try to stream as often as I can, about once a night or so, to try to talk to you guys. I may not make it tomorrow night because of the beginning of the week, but we'll see. I do the best I can. Usually I try to get on earlier than tonight. We were later tonight because I had to run out and do an appointment at 7 o'clock tonight. So I had to run out and do that real quick. I didn't get back till 8. But, let's see, now I'm yawning. But anyway, most of the time I try to get in here, get the kids all to bed and everything by 8:30 or 9 so I can get in here a little bit earlier. But I didn't get started until about 10 o'clock. So you guys have a really great night. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to head on to bed. So let me mute my mic.